Hey, what's up everybody and welcome to Drones Visual. I got a video blog in YouTube in Spanish about Chinese technology including smartphone, tablets, drones and other kind of technology, but now I decided to make a few of my reviews about quads and drones in English, so I'm opening this new channel and I decided to call it Drones Visual. I really hope you find it useful and sincerely would appreciate any feedback on my videos because they help me improve. I have been wanting to make a review about the Cheerson CX-22 for a while, and now I got hands on one and I realized that it might take me a while to make the whole video review in one single video, so I decided to split it up in several videos. Today I'll show you a little bit how the bird looks and we'll cover some information about the battery. This quad has generated some polemic due to its initial price, which I believe was around 1,000 bucks, which left many questioning the possibility to rather go directly for a Phantom. But well, I believe the prices have dropped since then, and I think they're right above 700 bucks now, which basically opens the possibility to many people that were waiting for the prices to drop. Before I go into talking about the CX-22, I would like to state that I'll try to make my reviews understandable to all audiences, so people that have less knowledge about quads can also get some idea about what I'm talking about. So those of you that might know more, please don't become impatient, as I think you could gather some valuable information from the review about the drone in question, in this case the CX-22, and you can also of course ask any question in the comment section below. Those of you that know the CX-20 will see the evolution in terms of design. Personally, I believe that the design of the CX-22 is pretty original, and probably many of you would agree. Then again, beauty is kind of a relative concept, and probably many of you are saying now, no, it's horrible, but well, I still like it. When it comes to quality, it's not that the quality of the plastic of the CX-22 is bad, but it's just that it's not the best idea to use this kind of rigid and brittle plastic for an aircraft. The lack of flexibility makes this plastic poor shock absorber, and it could certainly crack like a nut during an emergency landing. But then again, any quad this size will sort of suffer considerable damage during a fall, so my advice to you is fly safely and do not drop your quad, because it will probably break. Here we have 4 brushless motors. They look very similar to the old motors we would encounter in the CX-20. I don't have concrete information about the kV value for these motors right now, but as I mentioned before, they resemble a lot the older motors. It's worth mentioning that Cheerson upgraded their props and now they'll be offering a nice set of self-locking Phantom-like props. If we move to the rear section, we still have the classic little tower containing the GPS antenna. They have decorated this mini tower with colorful LEDs, which is a really nice touch. Then if we move to the front of the quad, we can see these nice large bluish LED lights that I mentioned before give CX-22 some nice personality, especially during evening flights. Underneath each arm, just like the CX-20, you will encounter openings to cool the ESCs or electronic speed controllers connected to the brushless motors. Then we can see the camera that comes included, which is capable of recording Full HD at 30 FPS. It comes mounted in a 2-axis gimbal. I'll talk more about the camera and the gimbal in my next video, and I'll show you some footage recorded at Full HD using this cam, but I can tell you right now that the gimbal works perfectly. I love it. In case you haven't noticed, the gimbal has a USB port over here, and this will allow you to connect the quad to your PC for a firmware upgrade or any other tweaking you might want to do. I haven't tried yet, but I'll certainly keep you posted when I do. Later we can see the landing gear, again made of a rather rigid and brittle plastic that will crack like a nut if you attempt an emergency landing. I had hoped Cheerson would use a different sort of plastic, maybe like the ones we see in 450 flame wheel kits, but they didn't. They continue using this sort of brittle plastic that we know from the CX-20. If we move now to the rear side of the Cheerson CX-20, we will see a dramatic change, especially when it comes to the battery section. This kind of battery has become rather common in these new elite quads, if I may call them like that, such as like the DJI Phantoms, Unique, Wakera QR 350 Premium and so on. I myself believe that this is a really comfortable option, but then again I have seen some people complaining about not being able to use their old batteries and the new kind of batteries being expensive and well, some other reasons. But I find it comfortable. Removing the battery is actually a piece of cake now. The only thing you have to do to remove the battery is just basically press both ends of the battery and pull it firmly out, and the battery just slides out like well, it's pretty easy. Once it's extracted, you can see the vast section where the battery was previously inserted, and these lines and ridges you see over here, they help keep the battery case in place. Here you can see the two connectors that connect the battery and supply the board of the CX-22. They protrude more than a centimeter from the circuit board. And the space occupied by the battery is obviously pretty big because this is a larger battery, so it takes way more space. I'll let you see the connectors from a different angle now, so you get a better perspective of how much they protrude from the board. Here you can see better, and then here you can see also the polarity of the connectors and this sort of plastic unit that keeps them attached to the circuit board of the CX-22. Now you can see the battery of the Cheerson CX-22 completely redesigned, nothing like the old one. This plastic body makes its insertion in the quad fast and easy, and just by looking at it, it looks quality, but then again I have no idea whether the actual battery is good or not. The outer part of the battery is rather curvy and it looks nice. It's a nice touch, nice design, I would say. If we go and count the cells, we see that there seem to be 6 cells, so I'm guessing this battery is like 22.2 volts. Then correct me if I'm wrong, please. And as far as I know, the battery is 5400 milliamps, but there's actually no labeling in the battery, so there's no actual way to know unless you have that information from somewhere else. I'll spin it a little bit, like in 360, so you get a better view of the battery. If we examine the area with the button and the LEDs, we can see that by pressing the button, the LEDs turn on, indicating the charge of the battery. This is really nice, although not as detailed as the batteries from the Phantoms that have like a sort of a little display telling you specific info about the current status of the battery, but still a really nice touch, and I like it. Here you can take a look at the connectors of the battery. These ones are the ones that connect directly to the ones I showed you before on the board, and then you can see a circuit board underneath. Now you can sort of compare the old battery many of us use in our old Cheerson CX-20 and the new battery in the Cheerson CX-22, and then you can contrast the connectors here, so you can appreciate a little bit the difference between the old and the new connectors. Inserting the battery, just like removing it, is a piece of cake, and it can be achieved in no time. The same button you saw on the back of the battery is now used to power the quad, but you gotta keep it pressed for around 5 seconds. After that, you'll hear the magic sort of melody that we're familiar with, and the disco lights from the Cheerson will follow. Now it would be a good time to turn on the transmitter so the binding process takes place. Here you can get a bit of a view of how it looks from the front section. When you turn on the quad, you get these front LEDs flashing, and the LEDs from the arms and the little tower that on top of the quad. Looks like a Christmas tree. Well, this concludes the first part of my review, but don't go away yet, because I still want to show you some flying footage of the Cheerson CX-22, and just remember to stay tuned for the next video, in which I will cover the camera and the gimbal of this quad. Last but not least, please subscribe if you enjoyed the video, because I'll be having more videos coming soon, not only of the CX-22 but also other quads. So drop me some comments if you have any questions or would like to see more, and please give me some feedback. So well, then I hope to see you in my next review.